In the spring of 2017, 2017, 20. So, anyway, uh, there was this young lady, dancer, and she wanted a reading, and she was 19. And I said, well, when do you turn 20? She says, well, I turn 20 in the spring. So I met her in the beginning of the winter of 2017. And I said, let's do the reading on you when you're 20 because I really don't like to do readings on anybody under 20. I will do 19-year-olds, but I don't like to do young people because they have so much ahead of them, and like let them live. So I get the reading on her, and when she's 20 years old, and so I find out that she's going to have three kids. Very wealthy. She's in the business. I find out she has a loss. Her father died when she was around, I figure, 15 years old. She still has a mother, but her mother is a little bit ill. I don't know exactly what. I'm not 100% sure what it is. But she says the reading was amazing and I got all the past right. She has a younger sister, which is about 9 or 10 years old at the time. And I did see that someone she loved was sick, and that's her mother. And she had to quit work, and that's why she says she's dancing. So I said, well, you know what? When your mother gets better, you don't have to dance anymore. And she goes to me, she goes, yeah, when do you like to do readings? And I said, well, I think a person should get a reading maybe once in a lifetime, if really necessary, every 5 years. That's about my range. And she goes, yeah, you know what? I'm going to see you in 5 years. And I said, okay. And she goes, well, we'll be friends too. Like I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be working in the industry, and you seem to be around the industry all the time. I said, yeah, I know a lot of the people, and I'm here, and I try to do the best I can. So anyway, 5 years passed. Actually, I didn't have much contact with this young lady's. COVID came, COVID kind of left, is still here, blah, blah, blah. I don't know about that. But anyway, about around Christmas time, or just after, I was grieving for my sister, and she wanted another reading, and it's almost, 2017, 9 years have passed. And I said to myself, I says, can you wait a little while, because I need to heal a little bit better. But about 2 months ago, approximately, or a month and a half, around February, I was feeling a little bit better, and I did the reading on her. Now, she's in the industry. She's doing well. I did the reading, and I saw that she had the three kids, and I got the sexes right, just didn't get the time zone right. It was boy, girl, boy, and I didn't get the individuals right with the people she was with. So she goes, yeah, you got everything right, and I saw her mom passing away, and so she had to stay in the business to make things financially, which was very good for her, very profitable. She's a very beautiful woman, and she was very happy with the situation of the wealth. But she wasn't happy with her relationships. She had three different fathers with three kids. So I guess that's pretty difficult, and the heartaches that happen with that and stuff like that. And being in the business, she has a lot of men won't be able to do it. And she said to me, she goes, they were all my customers too. And they all fell in love with me, and then they fell out of love with me. I don't get it. But that's not what I'm really worried about. I've got two houses. All the gentlemen that I've had the children with give me support, give me wealth. I'm in the business still. Lots of money. There's no problem with wealth. That's just my emotional state. And now I'm worried about my sister. I said, what about your sister? Well, she's turning 19 this year. And when I did the reading in the very beginning, I says, you sort of like have a kid as well. You have two dependents. Her mother was really sick, and her sister was really young. And then she had three more. She had three kids. Mother dies, but she still has the younger sister to take care of. So she's 19, turning 20. And we're in February of 2026. And she goes to me, she goes, she'll be turning 20 in April. And I said, she's an Aries. I go, those are leaders. I know lots about all the signs as well. But anyway, So I said, what do you want me to do? She goes, well, I'm going to give you the donation to give her a reading. I've talked about you for decades to everybody and how you got everything right. I said, well, thank you. And I said, you only 9 years ago. Anyway, that's fine. I said, okay, I will do the reading on her when she turns 20. And that because she knows I don't like to do anything under 20 years old. But her thing was she wants me to suggest things. Like when I do a reading, I try to be, well, as truthful as I can. If I see death, I do not like to mention it. I'll say an illness or something like that. Or you're suffering from someone you love that's not there. I will not use the death word. But anyway, she's like, can you promote the idea of her staying in school? I'm very wealthy. I can afford to pay for her to school. I don't want her going down the same path I went. I'm giving her an opportunity. My mom was a nurse. She died of cancer. I'm hoping that my younger sister becomes something to do with the health industry field. And I said, okay, I'll try to see what it is. But I can't lie to her. It's not what I do. I can avoid things, exaggerate, but I'm not going to flat out lie and say what to do. And plus, it's not my job to tell people what to do. I'm there to do my best to give you a reading. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. I ain't any of those things. But anyway, last week I did the reading on her sister. She was very generous with her donation too. And she said to me, she goes, I've never met a psychic before and this and that. I'm a little scared. I said, don't be scared. I'm not going to tell you any bad news. If there's bad news, I'm going to admit it. I'll tell you right now. And she goes, good, thank you. The reading went. And I saw she's going to have 2 kids. This time I looked with the same person. And they get married. And they have a pretty good life together. And I'm not sure of the sexes because I think she has a miscarriage as well. Now, this hasn't happened yet because she's 20 years old. I did the reading on her. She goes, after the reading and everything, I got her past right. Well, I know her past from her sister. I says, that's a given. But the future is different. It's what you do with it that matters. And she goes, I want to follow the same industry as my sister. I said, your sister told me you were in college. She goes, yeah, I'm in college. I want to go to university. But I want to work in the meantime. And I said to her, I says, listen, the industry your sister is in is lucrative. It's very well. It can make a lot of money, but that's the trick. As soon as you see a lot of money and you make a lot of money, you start to think, well, what's it about? My job. I'm doing that for money. And I said to her, I says, listen, you've got 2 paths. You're a very beautiful young lady. You can do the industry as well, or you can take the hard path. Short gains for long-term gains. What is the best thing to do here? You're going to try to do something fast and get satisfaction for the wealth at that time? Or do you want to do something long and get the satisfaction for a longer time? Regardless of the situation, happiness is still only a fleeting moment. But you got to deal with it at the time it happens. And the repercussions of what it happens. So if you're going to make fast money really fast and have a good time, there's going to be a withdrawal. There's going to be consequences. It's not going to be all roses, peaches, and cream. If you go the other way, it's going to be hard work. You get a normal job, maybe as a waitress, or working at a Tim Hortons or a McDonald's or a service industry of some sort, or any kind of job, a call center, anything. But the industry that your sister is in, it's very addictive, and you get used to the lifestyle, and it's hard to leave. And I'm sorry that situations in your life couldn't show you any other different paths because she's still in it. And she goes to me, she goes, yeah, she has 2 houses. She bought me a car. She pays for my college. I would love to have that kind of wealth. I said, having that kind of wealth and knowing what to do with it are 2 different things. A lot of people fall into that trap. Your sister had to take care of you and your mother until your mother passed. And then she had to take care of you. And then she had 3 kids along the way. it was a little different for her. I see in your path, you meet one gentleman, you fall in love, you have 2 kids. He's good, like he's, you know, good job, and then you become in the health industry and become whatever it is you want to become, a doctor, you know, a nurse, psychiatrist. I could use a good psychiatrist. Anyway, I hope that it goes her way and that she gets what she wants out of life. I can't make decisions for people. I showed her there is 2 paths, and one of them she's going to take, and I'm hoping the best. I love it when the person succeeds in their life and they're happy. And a few days later, her sister called me and says, well, she's almost finished college and she's looking for a part-time job, not in the industry right now. And I said to her, I says, you know the way that works. She's doing that because she loves you. And I told her, I says, try bribing her. Maybe that'll work. Because the industry is not for everybody. Okay, Birdy signing out.